Being an introverted overthinker. So, alright guys, I just hit 2 hours of cardio. I don't care if it's muscle detrimental to keeping gains. I just did it because I wanted to do it. That's it. That's the only reason. I like doing cardio sometimes. It's fun. So I went on an incline, treadmill, walk, 3-speed. I don't remember what the incline, I think 7. Did it for 2 hours, burned like 800 calories. But it was fun. Wanted to move, do some shit. And yeah, so going back to the crib now. So I wanted to talk today about the effects, whether you want to call them good or bad, of being an introverted overthinker. So introversion, being an introvert, means that it requires more energy to socialize with people, and you like to be alone. You recharge your fuel, your battery, so to speak, when you're not socializing. It's not that you can't socialize. You're just less comfortable in environments with people that you don't know, and you'd rather spend your time with people that you're close to or by yourself. Like, and there's like stereotypes. You like reading books. And an introvert likes everything that probably an extrovert could like. He or she just likes it alone rather than with people. I think introversion and extroversion is a spectrum. It is a range. It is not full introvert, full extrovert. It's a range. Imagine a line, and you fall somewhere on that line. I think this is important because if you also identifying yourself as an introvert or as an extrovert, right, it puts a narrative. So now you're viewing the world around you under that narrative that you set on yourself. It could be a self-limiting belief, right? But to an extent, we do know the environments and social situations that we like to be in. I like being alone. I like being with really close friends or by myself. Now, sometimes I prefer to be with my really close friends. Sometimes I want to be by myself over being with my close friends. It's just how it is. Like, it's a range, and every day is different. I want to share my experiences with being an introvert. I think if you're an introvert, and a lot of you probably can relate to this, most common thing that I do is I'll head nod to either people I know or someone who's looking at me and smiling. Maybe they want me to talk to them. I don't know. Don't care. I don't. I mean, to an extent, sometimes I will go out of my way to talk to people if I want to. But it's like, I think that's what's lacking, the desire to want to, right? And then maybe that's a good thing because that means that my social and romantic life is fine right now, and I don't really need new people in it, and that I'm content and not complacent but content at where I am. So, there's another thought that you could use. But anyways, because if I'm really desperate or lonely or wants to be around people, I'll be around them. I mean, there's no like, so I've noticed with my experience with introversion, being an introvert and an overthinker, but we'll get to that later, is that it's not that I can't make friends. It's not that I can't talk to people. I can go to Walmart right now and I'll probably see at least 3 people that I know and will try to have a conversation with me. I don't want to have a conversation with them. That's not me being rude. That's not me thinking that I'm better than them. I just don't want to. Right? I'm sorry. I might sound like an asshole. I just don't want to talk. And it's not like, and this is the tricky part, because sometimes I'll have a conversation with somebody and I didn't want to talk to them at the start, but as the conversation starts going, I'm actually like, oh, all right, I'm kind of glad that I started talking to this person. But maybe it's my affinity for being very perceptive of time. I'm very aware of how much time I have in a day, how much time I'm spending doing certain things. And that awareness makes it hard to use my time on unbeneficial activities that aren't allowing me to go towards my goals or whatever it is that is on my mind at that time. Being an introvert is like losing energy communicating with other people. Introversion, when you're an introvert, you lose energy speaking to new people or even just people that you casually know. And I don't mean energy in the sense of like actual energy. I mean like your bandwidth of dealing with I don't know, because I can't say social anxiety either, because I've personally never experienced social anxiety. I'm not anxious to be in social environments, I'm not anxious or nervous or scared. I just be me wherever I am, period. And me happens to be quiet and introspective and okay with being alone. It's not like I'm just authentically myself. And my authentic self is just being quiet. I don't know if there's like a deep rooted child trauma of fear of not being heard, which I've flirted with that idea a few times. I but it's not like that. It's just I just don't care to talk sometimes to people. But I've tried to psychoanalyze this. This is gonna lead into overthinking. I've tried to self-diagnose anything that in my life that's I find out of the norm, or and I'll have an introspection of a few hours just sitting there trying to think. I'll drive around in my car. I like driving because it's my place to think or to learn new things. Anyways, I don't know if I'm afraid of not being heard. I don't know if there's some child trauma, or, we all say that, but that stuff doesn't necessarily matter. I just know me personally. I like to be left alone. I like to be introverted, and I like to have a close set of people that I can rely on, that I'm loyal to, and that they're loyal to me, and we respect each other, and period. That's that. The overthinking part is not necessarily about social experiences, because I don't overthink about that. Maybe the only thing I have had a thought is, what is people's perceptions of me? Not if it's good or bad. It's just like I genuinely wonder what someone thinks, because I am seen as that quiet person. I'm probably like they see me, we make eye contact. Maybe a head nod, but it's like I don't go out of my way to speak to anybody. And so I sometimes wonder what people's perceptions of me are. I don't know if they think I'm creepy, if I think I'm weird, if they think I'm whatever. That's just curious to me. I don't care if they hate me. I don't care if they like me. I'm just curious to, see, or if I could just hear what they said or thought. But anyways, overthinking for me comes down to a multitude of things. But the first thing that comes to mind is either previous relationships or my future, or things that I said or did at a specific time, or what my purpose is. So either past or future overthinking, right? I'm either caught up in the past, right, about something said, done, did to me, or I said to someone else, or an interaction, or you name it, right? And that takes me out of the present moment. And then I think sometimes overthink about the future. In this current trajectory, where I am in my life now, where will I be 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, etc.? Will I have kids? Am I going to, all the random things that I just think about, what ifs, how comes, and that will lead into FOMO, the fear of missing out, and anxiety. Anxiety is just a multitude of different options and not being able to choose. I learned that from Alex Ramosi. Watch him. Amazing entrepreneur. Anyways, all these things go on in my mind at all times, right? I'm always constantly having a thought about the past, the future, or just random jumbled thoughts or things that pull me out of the present, right? I can't, like, for example, I was at the gym for 2 hours, and I was doing cardio the whole time on the treadmill, but I wasn't there. I wasn't in the gym. I wasn't on that treadmill. I was what I was watching, what I was thinking about. That's where I was. My focus, my attention, my entire consciousness was fully entranced in the things that I was watching and the things that I was thinking about, or a focus on trying to not think about things I didn't want to think about or focus on, if that makes sense. That's where the overthinking comes, because overthinking, because you overthink about something, it is impossible to not think about that thing because you want to not think about that thing. See, if I tell myself, don't think about that one conversation, and then I'm making a precedent on that one specific conversation to not think about What am I going to think about? I'm adding an emphasis on the thing that I don't want to think about. Therefore, I'm going to think about it. So that's my relationship with overthinking. It is a constant hypervigilant awareness of my surroundings and a focused on past or future, and never in the present. So how do these things combine together? So you have introversion, an introverted person who overthinks. So you have a person who doesn't want to socialize sometimes, doesn't like to go out of his way to socialize, can make friends but chooses not to, because at the end of the day, it's a choice. I could choose to have more friends. I've been offered to parties. I've been offered to hang out with people. I've been offered to do multiple things. I reject politely, of course. I'm good. So you have someone who doesn't want to socialize as much. You have someone who loves to learn and stays home and likes to be alone or with close people, and focuses on the things that he enjoys rather than what society expects of a person to enjoy. He focuses on his interests and hobbies or her interests and hobbies rather than what everyone else focuses on. But then also overthinks their decisions, their choices, their past choices, what their future choices will be, old relationships and what old things were said, future dynamics that haven't even occurred yet, different scenarios that could have been said in the past that weren't said in a different way, future conversations that you will say based on current experiences that you had in the past that you're going to use to increase your knowledge and data set to say it differently in the future. That's how that works. Just had one right there. And I'm glad that showed and explained in a way to where an overthinker's mind works. At the end of the day, I think the best thing that you can do is, if there is a problem in your life, if you think, okay, I don't want to be an introvert, well, I mean, there are things that you can do. You can go socialize so much so that it becomes so normal that it requires less effort, and then over time you'll be more of an extrovert than an introvert. Over time, you can't just talk to one person today and think, oh nope, okay, I'm good, okay, I can talk to everybody now, all right, perfect, we're good. No, just do it multiple times, repetitions, get the reps in, do what you need to do, and then but the better way, I think personally, and the better way to bring in people into your circle that are closer to your values and things that you like and enjoy, is to just be you. And I'm not saying like just authentically, genuinely be you, period. If you're an introvert and you overthink, right? If it is detrimental to your life and you have established that it's detrimental to your life, then you have the obligation to fix it. You should fix it. But if you like being introverted, if you have good social connections, you have a strong foundation of people that support you and care about you, and you're not romantically or socially inept and starving, we'll say, then you're fine, and you should be fine being an introvert. You should accept the reality that I'm okay being introverted, and it's not a big deal. And the only thing that I can say, introversion, that is a person's behaviors that will dictate the behaviors that they show that dictate if they're extroverted or introverted. Like they talk a lot versus don't talk a lot to random people. But overthinking, I think, is a multitude of things. Could be ADHD. That runs in my family. I was never diagnosed, but I might have that. It could be like deep-rooted trauma from my childhood that I haven't fully grasped or fixed. It could be insert any explanation. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know. And I'm fine with it, because if I need to be present in a moment, I've learned to focus. I've learned to establish a focus. For example, if I'm out with my boys, right, and we're driving and we're having a conversation, we're talking about shit, and we're seeing stuff and we're doing things, right? If I notice that I am not present, I'm not there, I will simply tell myself, no anxiety, no thought, no anything will change the circumstance or the outcome that has already happened or will happen. So there is no point in dwelling on that thought. Therefore, I should spend my time and enjoy my time with the people that I'm with right now. That usually always brings me back to reality, and I'm good. So, just a video I wanted to make on being an introvert, my experiences with it, how I've sort of overcome it slash embraced it, because at the end of the day, I am who I am, and I like the person that I am, and I hope that you do too. I hope that you enjoy the person that you are. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope it was insightful. I hope it gave you some sort of value, and if it did, that's awesome. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.